what keeps you excited about crypto and DeFi right now, even in this downturn environment? And it's not the first time you've seen it, and obviously you've stuck around. So I'm curious what insight you can share, what mental models or like frameworks that helps you think about crypto going forward during times like this.
Yeah, well, I guess as long as I've been around, the whole sort of ethos was crypto as it's either going to be worth zero or like $1 million a coin. And I still see that's a reasonable sort of position to have. And on the surface, it seems like a kind of ridiculous statement, but actually it's quite deep, because what you're saying is that if crypto doesn't succeed in all of the things that it says that it's going to do, whether it's payments or, NFTs or digitalizing finance and DeFi and all this kind of stuff, if it doesn't do that, well, it's never going to ever sort of be at the point where it's at parity, or it's just going to fade, or the definition of not succeeding means that it's it's going to sort of fade out and become irrelevant. But if it does succeed, then that does kind of mean that it's just going to be a winner takes all game, and it's going to dominate the other payment forms, the other ways of managing finances and that sort of thing. And yeah, it's going to be that sort of dominant mechanism. So I would say, like, on the one hand, bear markets come and go, but if your thesis is crypto is something which is valuable and useful for the world, and you believe that it's actually going to gain traction over time, well, it's just a matter of perspective on your time horizon of when the market's going to bounce back and realize that value. So like it might be the case that everyone's sort of, oh no, there's a bear market this year and that sort of thing, or the last 4 months or something like that. But if you zoom out like a year or two, like, Bitcoin was at 3,700 in March 2020. And all of the other coins that spawned from that were equally, 100x lower than they are today. So it's kind of like, what time frame do you want to use? Like, do you want to maybe look at 2 years from now or 3 years from now? So if I would say that you've got to have, I guess, a thesis on Bitcoin, or not just Bitcoin, but like crypto in general. And if you think crypto is here to stay, then it kind of makes sense that, you can take a long-term horizon from it, and you can go, hey, yep, bear markets come and go, but turn off the app, go for a walk, go outside, and things will eventually revert. So look, I've seen that many times before. I think it becomes more complicated when you've got all of these different competing things which may or may not have such a long time horizon, right? So if you have these protocols which are sort of only around for a couple of years, I mean, the likelihood is that they're probably not going to be there a decade from now. So I think what you've got to sort of look at is look at the teams, look at the people involved, look at, what are the projects trying to do? And is this a viable thing that can actually last as a real business? Or is this kind of like a cash grab for, the next 6 months and then it's going to be gone? Because you probably don't want to apply the same thinking of, oh, I'm going to buy this random NFT and that's going to be the same as Bitcoin is going to be here a decade from now. It's probably not. That's just the numbers and how they stack up, right, in terms of market caps and users and everything else. So, like, yeah, totally. I'd be careful with where you apply the logic, but in general, if you're bullish on crypto, like, probably don't worry about the sort of the gyrations of up and down markets.
You're listening to the Unstoppable Podcast, the go-to place for everyone to learn about the latest innovations in Web3, NFTs, and the decentralized web. Welcome to the metaverse.